Hi everybody, this is Stephan Hovnanian and welcome to this week's edition of Google Plus Business Spotlight, a show where we get together with real businesses and talk about how they're using Google Plus. Got this week my co-host Ben back in action, back from, where were you? Vegas? LA? New Orleans?
Let's see. I think before I was in New Orleans, and then I was in San Diego. So now I'm back in Phoenix, and it's warm. I'm happy. Yes.
Yeah, rub it in, rub it in. Still freezing up here in Boston. Although it's getting
That's
a
fine.
little bit better, and maybe a little farther down in the New York area where we have our amazing guest Susan Serra. What's it like down there
Hi.
in New York land?
It's getting ready to rain and actually plummet 30 degrees.
Fantastic.
Yes.
This is never ending.
I know we're ready. So speaking of ready, got a great show planned for you guys. Really excited about it. And before I turn the floor over to Susan to tell us about herself and her business and how she's using Google Plus, I just want to remind you guys to head over to GPLUSSPOTLIGHT.com, where we have a lot of information about the show. Brent and I are actually, the rest of this month, we're going to be rebuilding that whole platform to really kick it up a few notches. Very excited about it. Get on the email list because then we can communicate with you all the different changes and some upcoming guests that we have planned. It's going to be really exciting. So gplusspotlight.com, head over there. We'll wait. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to keep going. But you can open it up in another tab. And in the meantime, I'm going to turn it over to Susan. Susan, Serra, please just tell us about yourself. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us because I know that you're in the middle of something like as we speak, which is why you're in New York.
Yes, it's very exciting. I want to thank you, both you and Ben, so much for having me. This is a plum opportunity for me to interact with you and your followers, your audience, and I just really want to say thank you for this opportunity, and that's what I love about G Plus, and you really get to know new people and learn. It's like I'm learning every day on G Plus. So thank you. A little bit about me. I am a certified kitchen designer. I've owned and operated a kitchen design firm for about, I guess, close to 25 years on Long Island, and have done a million kitchens and baths, and then that sort of evolved into other things. And then I started my blog in 2007. My blog is called The Kitchen Designer. I just kind of wanted to share things, and before I knew it, other opportunities were opening up, and I was meeting even more people. But more importantly, what happened is that eventually, as you all know, there was more of a democratization of one's voice, that one's voice could be heard, that there were no longer gatekeepers there, that someone like me who has experience could share and people would find me. Thank you, Google. So that absolutely changed the course of my career. And then along the way, then I brought out a couple of brands, and I have a brand of cabinetry called Born Home Kitchen, which is really cool. It's very niche. It's not for everyone. And I also import rugs and ceramics from Scandinavia, where I go there by myself. I get lost. I find these things. And I also have an interesting little website that I made in a weekend that nobody goes to, but they really should. And that's called, what's it called? Oh, susansview.com. So that's about, and that's something I'm not going to get rich on, but it's fulfilling to me, and I fix people's pictures, and because we're all about the image now. So I think that's a little nutshell. I mean, there's a whole bunch of other things and where I've been, but I don't want to bore you. So that's the nutshell.
It sounds like you really follow your passion, and that just the Google ecosystem itself has really helped you, come from almost nowhere to being a blossoming business person.
Well, I wouldn't say from almost nowhere, because I definitely was I would call myself an industry influencer before G+. There's no question about that. But G+ added another very, very important dimension to my business and to my brand, my personal brand name, because that's really what I've been focusing on in the past few years, is more about my passion for the industry. I've been tapering off executing kitchen projects from start to finish and focusing more on what my interests are, which is the industry at large. And so to that end, I did look into G+, and I found a place that had very smart people, very passionate people. I found two things. I found it great for business, people who shared business information, and I also found people who shared their interests, and I could find interests and information on interests. So I you know, without the ego stuff, without the drama, without the personal stuff of Facebook. So for me, these two things make Google Plus a terrific place to be.
So you're saying you're able to connect with people on a much more human level, professionally, which in turn has been leading. I mean, has it been leading into opportunities or just, you know, new ways to explore the growth of your brand?
Yeah, it's a little, yes, I would say this, that the fact that, I mean, I have a nice number of followers, and I talk about G+ to my industry peers and colleagues, and I think as a result of that, there is a feeling that I have been an early adopter. I will say this, that one of the most wonderful, fulfilling parts of this too is my collaboration with Lori Leisure, who began the interior design community, and I'm the kitchen and bath moderator of the interior design community, and together, I mean, we are just changing our industry. So I think the best is yet to come, and I think 2014, we're already, you know, rocking 2014.
Well, 2014 is definitely the year of collaboration, and we love Lori. So
Yes.
You've got an awesome partner there.
Hi, Lori. You're coming on the show at some point. We're bringing you on.
So, I mean, a great question, I mean, I think would be is to tell us maybe a little bit about how you use Google+, and more specifically, how do you kind of interact and work with your audience? I mean, because, you know, you said that right there.
Yeah, well, you know, I am not the most disciplined person, maybe because I'm a creative person. I kind of go where the wind blows, so I will never be the guest who says, you know, follow A, B, C, D, E. I'm not that person because I just go where the wind blows. But the wind absolutely drives me toward G+. So I guess in answer to your question, how do I use it? I use it to, it's perfect for me because you can be long form, which sometimes I like to be long form. You can be short form. I'm a photographer. I'm a passionate photographer, which also includes going to trade shows and taking 1 million pictures, and also going on press events, sometimes to Europe. I was just in Spain a few weeks ago. And so I can share those pictures, and I can share the culture of a country and tie it into the, you know, the information about products or, you know, things like that. So it offers the perfect ways to interact and share information and engage with people. You know, unlike Twitter, you know, you're not limited by, you know, 140 characters. You can go on, and sometimes there have been really big, great discussions on threads that I've contributed to, where real information is passed back and forth and solutions, you know, found for issues, and just it kind of really brings people together who are, who have like-minded interests and passions. So I don't think that's anything earth-shaking to share with you, but I just like, I just think it's just such a great, it gives you any way to share that you want to share.
I got a question for you. I want to loop back to something you said a few minutes ago. Where your business, you've become, well, you were an expert in your field. Now you've become an even more influential expert in your field. And from the production side of your business, of the kitchen design, business, you're taking yourself out of it a little bit and focusing more, let's just call it as an industry celebrity, just for all intents and purposes. I think you're a celebrity. But if you think about that, like the people who are on the different shows and the ones who are always advocating for different platforms. So I guess here's my question: how, as you go into that direction, especially you're quite adept at using Google Plus, Susan. I mean, before we went live, people.
I didn't know that.
In the park, right across the street of her hotel. And we were going to try and do this live from a nice outdoor location. Unfortunately, the Wi-Fi didn't hold up. It was doing a great job, but it just didn't hold up. So, Susan's like, oh, no problem. I'll be back in 5 minutes. And Ben and I are sitting here like, really? Guests don't know how to do this. And so she comes back and lo and behold, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, boom. Here's Susan all set up, got her set up, herself squared away the way she is now in like 2 seconds. And that was great. So now here you have somebody who is an expert in an industry that has nothing to do with social media, has nothing to do with Google Plus or any of this kind of tech. Yet, as you go and you speak about your industry, people are looking to you, for your knowledge about this, about Google Plus or personal brand development and all the marketing and businessy related things and the tech that comes along with growing a brand especially online. So I mean, how do you balance that? Because it's obviously not your original area of expertise, but it's something that a role you're kind of forced into.
Well, whenever you're forced, you never want to be forced in, right? Yeah. No, I understand what you're getting at. I think you have to be passionate. I think you have to be truly interested in other people. To me, I think it's about Google Plus is about people. It's not yes, the search and the enhanced networking and notoriety, that's all bonuses. But to me, without the engagement of people, and there are so many smart people where you don't have the ego stuff of Facebook, where you just get down to the nitty-gritty and you just get right down to it, and that's what I like to do. I like to get down to the information. But I think you have to have a curiosity, you have to have an interest in engaging with people, and that has to be the driving, to me, that has to be the driving force. So I don't know if that answers your question, but when I go into Google Plus, I'm somewhat thinking of, okay, what information can I find, if I want a little solitude, but I'm also thinking, who's talking about what? What are some of these smart people? Let me hit this circle, that circle. Who are my favorite smart, what are they talking about? And I just learn. Then it's like Mia says, I get to learn on. So I think it has a lot to do with the people.
So I think
does that answer you at all?
Yeah, you know what, I know where you're coming from, and tell me if this helps summarize all of that. What your role as an influencer in your industry, which not even Google Plus, although you're very influential in your niche and on Google Plus, but just IRL in real life. So what you're doing is, it sounds to me at least, you're using Google Plus as a platform to be able to get your finger on the pulse of what's going on, and then take that offline. And when people are looking to you as an expert in your field, and to say, yes, this is what's going on. This is what I can, these are the types of things I can tell you. These are the types of things that are hot, that are trending, that are that might be important to your business as as a vendor or a line of in the industry, looking to market to certain people, because I'm in the trenches every day having conversations, and I'm understanding what's going on in the industry, and then again I can bring that out and talk to people who aren't on Google Plus about it. And I think there's a tremendous amount of value to that, which is that's what I got out of what I was trying to pull together here. Does that make sense? And it sounds like that's what you're doing.
Yes, yes, it is. It's, for me, I'm focusing more, actually, what I'd like to focus more on is consulting rather than executing kitchen projects from start to finish. So to that end, I'm also interested in being right at the center of knowing what's happening in the industry. Google Plus is a wonderful way to find out information. But there are other ways too. I go to trade shows here and abroad. I have many PR firms send me press releases every day. I read them all. I follow brands in my industry. On G Plus. So G Plus, it's a very important part of my day. I would never. And when I go into the interior design community, I just get sucked in there for like an hour and a half sometimes, and so just seeing all this stuff, and also because we have many members from around the world, so I'm finding out from G Plus what's happening around the world, which I can't get from my inbox necessarily. I can't get it from Facebook. I really don't get it so much from Twitter. G Plus, like it or not, looking for it or not, it's there. It's really there right in front of me. So I think that's a distinct advantage.
I would agree. We got a question I want to bring up from one of your fellow moderators, Jeffrey Johnson, who was a previous guest on the Google Plus Business Spotlight. Hi, Jeffrey. Thank you so much for coming today. Appreciate it. And it's a good question here. It's kind of a generic one, but something I think you'll be great at answering. What do you recommend for someone trying to build a brand for themselves on Google Plus? What can you tell us about that, Susan?
Yes, that's a great question, Jeffrey. And hi, Jeffrey. Mwah! Smooch to you. Well, I would say, engage and find out, engage in your fellow. Engage in the design community, which you're already doing, but make that as a drumbeat, in whichever social channels you prefer. I know you do prefer G+. So you have to keep that drumbeat going of engaging with your peers. You may want to seek out editors in the industry, the interior design industry, and do some light interaction and know what they're doing and begin to form relationships with editors of both online and print publications. You may want to engage with PR representatives as well of brands, brand PR representatives, and so then you can find out more focused information about about products, about events. Attend events. I know you do that. I attend as many events as I can. So, but I find that being vocal in your community, in the design community, is what it's all about. It's about all of these things, though, and it's the repetition of it. And of course, there has to be an organic passion and interest, and then it's not work. But also to have a blog and to be authoritative and not be afraid to be authoritative. I did a couple of years back, I did an analysis, sort of an evaluation of a major print magazine's, I don't know if I should say it here, but a major print magazine's, something they did, a kitchen project they did, and I did an analysis, and there was a bunch of things that I thought was not great. So I did a big blog post, and I listed what I thought was great and what I clearly thought was not great. And I think being, giving your opinion in a constructive way uh, is, you know, if you have the experience to back it up, then you are an authority. If in fact you are an authority, then say what you think. Say what you think.
You know, I'll say this, Susan. One thing that I find that is actually kind of amazing is I come from PR and journalism background, as well as marketing. And usually it's actually the other way around, where someone will want to try and build authority by starting up, say, a website or a magazine, and then being that kind of journalist that people want to approach. You've taken the exact opposite approach. You become the influencer, and now you're starting to do a lot of outreach, and in a sense, you're really going back to awesome marketing 101, which is you're taking your personal brand and influence and really trying to get it out there. And also, I would assume that, and this is actually a question I have, are you leveraging the expertise that you have in Google Plus to even gain more attention from journalists, news outlets, other people, when you're keeping a pulse?
Am I leveraging the expertise, do you mean in terms of, well, I am engaging with brands on Google Plus, and I am being authoritative, and I feel that if I am authoritative, that, you know, people will continue to find me. I know what I'm talking about. It's not, and there are many, and here I'll be a little controversial, there are many wonderful editors who spend their careers in certain fields, but they don't work in the trenches every day. I have done every single phase of kitchen design, every single phase, from start to finish for 20-something years. I know what I'm talking about. And so that's what I mean when I say the gatekeepers are really not there anymore. And if you have real experience, go for it, talk about it, be opinionated. And you know, there's a balance. There's a balance. You don't want to be you know, too negative. There's absolutely a balance, but you know, why not? That's what you've worked for so long.
Yeah, you can come across authoritative and knowing what you're talking about, and not be controversial, or not be a jerk. You know, that's what you mean, right?
That's what I mean.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense. You know what?
And some brands may not like it, and I'm sure the brand that I gave the best, the most constructively critical analysis, but it was critical. It was constructively critical, but it was critical. And I'm sure, you know, they didn't like it at all. But you know what? Then I think people said, oh, she's you know, these are interesting points, and she's just putting it out there. So I think that's important to do, because I think that's what our readers want from us, who work in the industry, and you know, who know. So that's exciting. So Jeffrey, I would say, tell them what you think about whatever gets you excited.
Well, I think this transcends to any industry, really. I mean, if you know what you're talking about, it's nice that people who've been in business a little longer kind of have the advantage of experience, which is supposed to be an advantage in the first place. But you know, that's been kind of clouded over the past few years because of the ways that we can game online marketing and all these little tricks and stuff. So the fact that things are going, that the customer sentiment in general, I mean, at least from what I read, and also just the mechanics of the way search is working and some of these social things, it's all going back to, whoever knows the most about something is going to get the respect, and is going to be able to build the best brand possible. And as long as they're delivering on the other end, as long as they know what they're talking about. So you're a great example of that here. I mean, all the things that you've shared with us so far, Susan, has just been really reinforcing that, and very encouraging, I think, to people who are looking to to crack through the noise. I mean, clearly you found that there's a platform here on G Plus that allows you to do that. It allows you to get into kind of talk. It allows you to spread your wings in a way that's, like you said, there's no gatekeepers. It's much more transparent, and I think that's a huge advantage. I'm doing something similar to the way you did it. the way you're doing it, where like I've kind of, I mean, at least here on Google, I've built up a little niche for myself, and now it's like, oh gosh, there's people I need to meet that aren't here. You know, if I want to take something to the next level, now we have to go and we got to go get re-engaged on LinkedIn. I got to go meeting, start meeting other people on different networks, and like you said, start connecting with brands. But what's cool is that because you know what you're talking about, and because you've got some influence backing you up with social proof and engagement and all this other stuff, you're going to make a big impact when you go to somebody and say, hey, I can help you. And so when you're critical about somebody, they listen. And I think that's a really, it's kind of a magical thing that happens here, because it gives you such a platform to do it on. Yeah.
That's an awesome wrap up, Stephan.
Thank you. We'll put it in the blog. I'll copy it verbatim.
We've got a couple questions.
Yeah, let's do it.
One of them that I really want to ask, and this is from our dear Marilyn Moore, and that is Susan, how are you using and leveraging Helpouts? What's your strategy there, and how does it work into your overall mix?
Well, I was really excited about Helpouts. I was so excited about it, and I have done a number of Helpouts, and I have been a Helpout. I've asked to do Helpouts with other people who are doing Helpouts. For example, computer problems I had, or whatever. Even Thanksgiving Day, I contacted a chef via Helpout. I think it's still under the radar. I feel that it's earth-shaking and groundbreaking, and for the modest sum it is, I thought people would be running through the doors to get this expert advice from all these experts that are there, which Google really has vetted, and that, at least for my niche, that hasn't happened. I do Helpouts from time to time, and I believe in it, and I think I'm surprised that, at least for my niche, people haven't been running toward it. I'm very surprised, and the reason is because I know that, I charge a bunch of money to begin the design process, and I know that there's a tremendous market out there of people who couldn't afford someone like me, who I'm happy to share information with for $25 for 15 minutes. So if you're doing a kitchen in, say, the $3,000 to $20,000 range, you can afford to spend that money, and it's well spent. It's extremely well spent. So yes, I'm surprised. There hasn't been as much traffic as I expected.
Interesting. Right on.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I know Ben and I both do Helpouts. I have a paid listing and a free listing. I haven't promoted the paid part of it too much. The free one, though, for email marketing has actually done quite well. I've gotten some great response from it. But I think, like you kind of said, it's all right. Here's something that I can give you in a short burst. Actually, I used your video as an example for mine. Because you were very clear about what it was, what your Helpout was about, and I thought that was really great, because there's always that line that can get blurred when you're dealing with service-related service and consulting style, advice or time. So thank you for that.
Yeah, one thing I found out with Helpouts is I have two Helpouts, and both of them are free. One thing I did for easier adoption and also search engine optimization is I pointed a URL directly at my Helpout. So it's gplushelp.guru, right? And so it's an easy way for somebody to find the Helpout. But from a strategic standpoint, offering the free one, what I found that's really helped me do is it's helped me build a lot of new relationships with people in a very short period of time, because that's what Hangouts allow us to do. And I haven't tried the paid listing yet, so it would be kind of interesting to see, maybe if we brought you back, what would happen if you did make it free, and say you spent 20 minutes with somebody, and then maybe that person contacted you offline and said, hey, I do want that $25,000 consultation or whatever it costs.
Yeah.
Who knows? Or, I mean, well, I know what a lot of people do in the internet marketing world, the coaching world. What they'll do is they'll say, all right, I'm going to make my time available today only. You know, they'll do that kind of like a special event where you can book time with me all day. And with my paid one, that's something actually at some point I'm going to actually do is just flip it over to free and offer it to a select group of people where we go through your profile and really just rip it apart or just praise you all over the place about it. But to help you build up a Google Plus profile that makes a lot of sense. That one's paid, but you know, maybe make it a special event. That actually, I mean, hey, test it out. That's what a lot of this whole stuff is. This whole thing is about. But if you, even if it's offline, Susan, if you end up doing it, you know, let us know, and we will we're definitely going to put the link to your. You have a bunch of them, so we'll put the link to your whole listing of Helpouts, both in the event page and the blog posts and stuff. Because I mean, gosh, who wouldn't want advice from a world-renowned kitchen designer?
Well, there's a lot of great experts on there, that's for sure.
Cool. Yeah, so everybody who's listening, watching right now, go check out Helpouts anyway. You know, maybe you can find somebody that can help you out with you know, with anything that you're looking for. They've opened up a lot of different services in the past month or two. So yeah, it's cool. You can learn how to cook. You can do all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah.
You did something on Thanksgiving, really? That's brilliant.
I did. I had a question about making gravy, which I've made for 25 years, and sometimes it's great and sometimes it isn't. And I said, you know what, like an hour before I was going to serve dinner, I said, you know what, let me just fire up the laptop, give someone a call, and there someone was right there.
Cool.
Right there.
You got your gravy all sorted out.
I did. It was good.
That's awesome. I love it. So, I mean, I guess, do we have any other questions in here? Let's see. Run through the comment tracker real quick.
We've got
like you guys are. Thank you, everybody who's here watching live, because you're doing a fantastic job, you know, talking to each other and helping each other out in the you know, in the comment stream. We appreciate that, and we'll try and surface some of the key points that we're taking care of, that were, you know, covered today into the blogs, the write-ups that we do here on GPLUSSPOTLIGHT.com. How do you like that for a segue?
Can I add one thing?
Yeah, sure. Tell us what you're working on, if you have any other big projects coming up.
Sure. No. Well, I wanted to say, to tie into something we were talking about earlier. I'm in the city now for 2 nights. At the invitation of DXV, which is the new brand from American Standard. So they're launching a new brand. Last night, myself and other designers who were involved in this project, we actually designed spaces. I designed the only kitchen. They designed bathrooms. They were built in a studio, photographed. They were actually built, photographed, and used for the launch. So last night our small group had dinner with the CEO of American Standard, which was amazing. And then tonight is the press event where you know, all the press are going to come and we're going to talk to them. So the point is that if you put yourself out there and you do good, if you do good work, you show your work, you talk about what you know, you engage with people, you attend events, and you're really passionate about your industry, these things come to you, and you know, but it's all driven, it has to be driven by your passion. You know, you can't just think you can make it happen, oh, this would be a good idea. You have to be passionate, and that comes through.
That's great advice. Really great advice. And you have, speaking of passion, so you have something coming up with, I think, Chef Dennis, right?
Oh my goodness, I sure do, which I'm so excited about. Oh, what a, yeah. We are going to do something very special and very different. We're going to be talking, it's around the kitchen table that's going to happen on Mondays. And he's going to be cooking. He's going to be live in the kitchen cooking. And I am going to be sort of the sidekick talking about kitchen lifestyle. So it's going to be a sort of global global look at the kitchen, surrounding food, surrounding perhaps function, about perhaps appliance function, perhaps aesthetics, colors, materials, countertops, the whole look, how you would decorate the table for a particular dish. It's really a global look at the lifestyle in the kitchen, and it's not being done anywhere. And I think it's just going to go in several different dimensions, because we do live in the kitchen. So I'm very excited about that.
That is really creative. That is really awesome.
That is definitely cool. We're going to be keeping close tabs on that because, Chef obviously has a fantastic show on Fridays. Gosh, he's all into the Hangouts. He's got a lot of stuff going on. Definitely, if you're interested in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, follow Chef Dennis Whitley, and he'll fill your stream up with a lot of goodies too. He's great for that. Make me real hungry, that guy. So, all right. Well, I'll tell you what. We could probably go on forever. You're so interesting and amazing, Susan. We want to try and honor the time slot that we ask our viewers to tune in for. So, want to thank everybody for coming, and thank you, of course, Susan and Ben. Want to just remind you to go to GPLUSSPOTLIGHT.com to check out information about the show. Next week, we're going to have Aaron Wood, who is a graphic designer who does some really fantastic work. He's going to talk to us a little bit about what he's doing on Google+. Become very influential. He's a really, really cool guy, and we're excited to have him. And you can catch that episode as well as all the different archives that we've had for all of our amazing guests on GPLUSSPOTLIGHT.com. Go check it out. Sign up for the email. Blah blah blah. You know what to do. And we'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much again for tuning in.
Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Take care.